Because
Yeah.
yeah, perfect time. Okay, so the first one should be
Okay.
Soul, right? We're gonna go and start just talking about Soul. I'll load up Soul, and then I'll pull the chart real quick later.
Yeah. So
Uh,
Soul.
uh,
Yeah. So what did I list them? I think I listed
I
them
think
as
that's
like
6-4. I think I have it on the sheet.
yeah. So
I don't have the. I can't show you
yeah.
the sheet because I can't go between the two games right now. So yeah,
Yeah. So I got it here myself. So
yeah. I think you wrote it
yeah.
as a 6-4, right? For Soul.
Yeah. 6-4. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think it's just he generally control like Faust will generally control a lot of the pace. Like Soul has to work to get in. Once he
Right.
does though, he can do a lot of damage. This with the sidewinder loops, or God forbid, like you get counter hit 2D or gun flamed
Right.
into FRC, and he does a lot. But Faust has like a lot of stuff like the kind of hedge against that. Like he can like 2H, he can like 2H especially is good if he tries to like to go in. If they try like any kind of risky stuff, though, I guess the thing is too like in this matchup, I feel like Soul kind of like you have to play kind of like a little bit gambling. You might have to take more risks. Like sometimes like maybe like kind of like a run up DP that maybe like try to stuff something or like
Yeah.
a banded brainer. But a big thing like Faust has, he has like normals that not only like can actually like stuff them, like Riot Stomp, like 2D and Jump 2K, like especially mid screen, he can just completely like stuff those with those normals.
Right.
Yeah, and he can also, and I guess the thing too is, like with crawl, he can also crawl under that and get like a punish or a throw at least. He can also do like crawl under things like Bandit Brainer, and he can get a big punish from that. Grand Viper, he can also like after like all the hits and Soul does the final hit, he can crawl that the last hit, and he can do whatever, or he can 5D through it
Ah.
too and get a
That's
combo.
funny. That's so
Yeah,
suffering. You have to
so
guess
some
kind of what he does
souls,
though, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
because some souls might like in a lot of other matchups they might only RC like the last hit. Granted,
right.
everybody I think can like at least backdash that and punish, but so really like souls should be probably like RCing like the hits while he's on the
Right.
ground.
Right.
So like that's what he has to do, especially against Faust, if he's going to risk that to like say get under a far slash.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and like so like Soul has to work a lot, I think, in this matchup, but otherwise, like the items they can cause a lot of pain, and he has to like gamble a little bit. It's just if he gets this wrong, then it's just going to be like a big pain. Like if he does like a one other thing too, I should mention too
Hmm.
is Faust does have like a one of his safe jump setups he has is after a 2D item toss into right into a jump K.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so if you just do like 2D item toss and then go into jump K.
It's
No,
like
not drill. Just jump K.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you hold down back, if he DPs that, then you'll block or you'll hit him, right? So like that's
Yeah.
kind of an option you have, and then Faust has like pretty good ways of punishing that too. Like he can generally get even like stuff like if he does like Soul does the kick follow up where he ends in a crouching state. Even I think he ends up in a counter hit state
He's
too.
covering
Even
the mirror. Yeah.
you can do a 6H scalpel pull combo on him. Yeah, or just pogo as well.
I mean, there's some space
Yeah,
involved. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It's like a super
Like
free.
you had him in counter hit, so you could even got like scalpel pull into whatever.
I think I have counter hit on though. That's what I was like. Actually, they want to do. They do fancy. Do I have one?
Oh, okay. Maybe
Yes.
that's why.
'Cause,
I mean, I
yeah.
think like if you're, I think okay.
Yeah. Because you have to hit in
Okay,
the
maybe
air.
not counter hit, but he is in a crouching state. So if you're close enough and you do a 6H punish or even 2H, you can then do a scalpel pull, and that's like his highest damage punish. But
Hmm.
pogo works too. That's just easier to do and just as good.
Okay. You
So
start with the pogo. Cool.
yeah. Or you can even counter hit him with 6H in the air as he's like coming down, and
Right.
then you can get like a big air combo too.
Okay.
And I think that's the thing too with Faust is 6H it works as a pretty good like anti-air or like an anti-DP
Yeah.
punish.
It looks like Faust has a lot of those angles that Soul would like to try to approach in, but like his buttons like just kind of just fill up that space that Soul would like to move in. I think it looks like at least.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Like
Are there any moves that Soul does that you have to like be really worried about, like randomly?
while I mean, of course, wild throw once he gets in, you got to look out for his
Yeah.
strike throw, especially like gun flame, FRC,
Oh yeah.
into.
How was Gunflame from like full screen? That's like just like
It's
harassing
like
your opponent.
okay. I mean, like it's a thing you do have to respect. Like, he can like kind of throw it out, especially if he sees like you're just kind of throwing buttons just outside like your effective range.
Yeah, yeah.
Up close though, like if he tries that in a block string and he does an FRC, you can generally just like jump 2K over it even to
Oh,
punish.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They
or
just like,
force break chop as well as another option, like just to punish him. Especially on instant block, that's like an easy instant IB punish too. If you IB the like his normals and he does like gun flame.
right, I'm a... Oh, yeah, that's like, yeah, that's like the big luxury of Faust, right? You can punish that kind of, the gun flames, right? Like, where someone would be, like, safe, but... Damn, that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, especially if he's pretty close to you, like in the corner or something.
Right.
So, but yeah, if you're too slow, but then he can just like volcanic viper you.
Right.
If you're just too slow with that punish. So
Okay.
yeah, like I think like Faust, you generally just want to be on the ground in this case. 2H jump H, like just zoning with your normals. I'll let him
Right.
come to you. You can like rush him down a little bit, I guess, when you have item support.
Right.
But yeah, you generally don't need to do. You don't generally need to, because he wants to be the one to come in.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
He'll be killing himself trying to get in, typically. Hopefully you kill him before he gets to you.
yeah, pretty much. Because
Okay.
otherwise, yeah, if he grabs you, like he has like easy sidewinder combos on Faust, and he can do like probably like minimum 200 meterless on you. So
Gotcha.
it's probably like 250 more so, or even
Okay.
more. But
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, sounds about right. I can see it just like from seeing how the button, his angles look. It looks pretty annoying for Soul to deal with to get in, right? But
Yeah.
I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move for time though. We're going to Kai. Is that cool?
Yep. Yeah,
All right.
that's everything I wanted to cover.
All right, cool, got it. Nice. Yeah, let's go to Kai. Just go ahead and start bringing up Kai. You have Kai as like a really bad matchup for this character. Poor guy. What's going
Yeah,
on?
and a
Here?
lot of Kai players don't like this one either because
So,
a funny story was when I went to a local in Winnipeg. I drove there during the winter, and it was a local I did actually manage to win with the chip damage group there. On commentary, when I was watching my matches, they claimed that this was an 8-2 matchup because Faust does everything Kai does but better.
oh yeah.
I don't think it's quite true because Kai has like his stun edge stuff. He has like the force, like some pretty good force breaks, I think. But the thing is, I guess with Faust he does have a lot of answers to it. Like Far Slash is pretty good like for controlling space, like especially if he tries to run in. Like Kai's run doesn't like low profile it or anything. Kind of a big hitbox, pretty easy to combo. Faust can crouch under a bunch of his stuff.
Yeah. I saw Far Slash
Like,
already.
yeah, like if they do like for example stun edge Oki and they don't like FRC it, or it's like spaced in a way that they can't like at least like check you with something like a 2K or a 2D or something.
Right.
Yeah, you can just like crouch forward under that and then you can just punish them. So like they have to like they have to do that or just like 3H instead.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess like another thing too is like on Oki, like 2K is pretty safe because it's very if Kai tries like a
Right. You
vapor
can't
thrust,
do it. Yeah,
like
you can't vapor thrust.
yeah,
That's right.
it will just low profile it and you can get like a pretty easy punish. Yeah, and like Kai, like it feels like Kai has like a lot of like the similar kind of mid-range space that he wants to control too, but I think Faust just does it better than him, and so he can like really struggle with that. And I think like that's a big thing. And then of course like one of the things too is Faust can do a lot of damage on him with his combos like 6H Pogo RC, and he can loop that twice with full meter.
All right, wait, how do you do this? Oh, we just say 6H. Was it?
Yeah, 6H Pogo RC and just 6H Pogo. You can just yeah, and then like yeah, so you can do that twice. So ideally you would like want to micro dash it a little bit too.
Okay.
But yeah, like even just like one loop, that's like 250, and like the full one does like 300 on him or something. But you only have 50% meter, so
No.
so that's why you can't show the full loop, but you get
Yeah.
the point, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so he's one of the characters that the 6H Pogo Loop variations work on. So Faust can do a lot of damage to him. He's pretty easy to combo. Yeah, like basically.
Crouch
Faust
just seems
is,
like it ruins his life. It really looks like it just ruins his life.
Yeah, I don't know of many.
Like,
Kais that really
how does he
like this
make? How does he
match.
make the string safe? I really don't know. Like, yes,
Like,
like just
like Kai has to use like on Oki, you're gonna be doing stuff more like the air stun edge stuff, or you're gonna do like 3H instead. And
Yeah.
then like, pressure him that way. Because Faust does have to respect like kind of his block stream pressure and watch out for his throw. Like he has to watch out for the strike throw like everybody else.
Right.
But it's not that much of a threat because yeah, he doesn't. It takes even though Faust is not like he's not a very hardy character. Like
Right.
he doesn't have a lot of defense or guts. But yeah, it looks like I am back.
Alright, cool. Did you want to conclude anything else with Kai? Like, I don't know what moves Kai would do that are like kind of scary at neutral. Like, I really don't know what he would do. Do you have any things that like you have to like worry about? Outside of like once he's in controlling Kai standard Kai things, but like, what does he do? Like, the Sunnage sucks. He has to do air Sunnages, right? He has to do air Sunnages.
Yeah, a lot of those, and I think watch out for his anti-airs are good. Like generally 6P, of course, like especially against your drill is good. 2H as well. 2H you can get like some pretty big damage, bigger damage combos.
Right.
Greed Sever is because the way like Greed Sever is, it's not that big of a deal because of Faust being kind of like low, so it will hit him later. So you have like more than enough time to block it. Yeah. So then, and because when you do, he ends in the crouching state, so you can just do 5P 2D as a item toss as a punish.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't think about it. Yeah, 'cause I forgot he's so low to the floor that this shit takes it. Like, look how long this takes to hit him.
Yeah, I think that this is like 27, 28 frames or something.
Oh my god, it's like unusable. And then like doesn't even hit him
so you don't really
physically.
want to, and you can probably crawl under that too. Like, there's like, in this matchup, if you're gonna do like the Greed Sever on Faust as Kai, you should do like the at least do the Force Break version.
Yeah. Damn, I'm sorry, Kai players. This matchup looks That looks shitty. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and really I looked in like in the Discord too, and
what did
people generally don't like that matchup much either. So
yeah,
I don't blame them.
Ukyo put it as really low too. I wonder what side it did. Side also 3.5. It's not a good match. It's not favorable. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think it's ever really been favorable for Kai in any.
Yeah, as long as he has
maybe
crouch.
It was even. Maybe in Slash it was even, but
okay.
That was because of Kai in that game. So.
All right, I'm gonna push you along.
Yeah.
Let's go do May. Let's go do May. So May, we'll do May real quickly.
Yes, May. We played that match a little bit. Just hold on, let me get my notepad plus.
Yeah, get that ready.
I can put that as my notes at least.
Yeah, I think this matchup is kind of just. I would say Faust is a better May. That's how I would describe it overall.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
But it's like weird because you trade better normals for less mobility, where May is more mobility. So like, it's different. It's weird. It's hard for me to say because I think I don't know. That's weird. It's different. It's different trade-offs. Different trade-offs for the character, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I still put it as unfavorable though. So tell me about this matchup. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess May is kind of like an air pixie, and also can do stuff that can kind of put off Faust. So yeah, it's like a jumpy character versus another jumpy character, as I put in my notes.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, because they do like to jump a lot. Faust can control air to air very well with jump H though. May can be kind of slippery and get away. And as in our matches too, right? You kind of see even some of my pogo combos. May could easily tech out just because she's a lightweight.
Right, and that's a generic issue for Faust, right? Like lightweights are actually just they kind of just get out of all those combos in, or what?
Yeah, and they can, right? But so then you got to do stuff you got to go for either a tech trap, or you got to go for an air throw reset. Okay. So that's an option you have at least. Yeah, and I guess in plus R too, May has more stuff with the dolphins too, so that's a kind of a way to kind of discourage him from just outright zoning and being completely passive. So that's the thing too, keep in mind. Also keep in mind for the dolphin super, if you're just trying to do items and then May catches your startup with the dolphin, you're just gonna get hit for it. Or if you're just trying to troll on the pogo, not a good idea either. So yeah, and Faust has a lot of ways just dealing from the air, 2K, good normal. You just gotta time it right though, as she's coming down. Very good, because I guess a lot of characters don't probably deal with May's jump 2H very well. Faust I think does an okay job, I think, with the 2K. Yeah. He might trade from time to time, but
it's still in your favor at that point, I would say.
Yeah. And I guess like in plus art too, like the like May's like any kind of mix up she does with like overhead kiss, it's not that big of a deal for Faust, really. Like because he can like just like jump back. Like his way of punishing, like with punishing, is just like jump 2K into either pogo or even going my way, or even
Right.
just land and do something else. So yeah. What else is there? Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think you hit
2K,
it.
2K
Yeah.
and jump aids are your big tools in this matchup, I
2K.
think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and lightweight, so the 2D pogo option is available to you in there. It can be a little bit trickier to combo though, just because of
Oh.
pogo, or if you're trying to do like a 5K anti-air confirm, to actually get the full damage, you need to do like the harder like single hit 5K jump install combos
Oh.
for full damage. But there's easier options too you can use.
Damn, I haven't done a single.
Yeah. So that's basically what I have. Yeah, for May.
Okay. I mean, I can't really say much. I think like this match is just kind of like it's because Faust does Faust things, and they make the only thing she really has going for is hoop to really make you have to kind of have to play like that's the only way you can really control like the tempo of
Yeah.
the matchup.
Did,
But she still has to
yeah.
push you. So
Did
yeah,
she have hoop in accent core? Like
she always
I don't
did.
remember.
She had hard slash hoop, right? But the one that changed her is
Okay.
D hoop is one that's behind you, so it forces you to move forward. Like you have to move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
the one. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't think she had that. Yeah, she didn't have that one in the
Yeah,
OT.
and so like because it's on a D blend, right? Like your blends are not locked to like anything relevant, like important. Because you're using D now, so you have all your blends open to you, all the important ones, right? So that's probably why it's really good. But okay, anyways, enough about that. Yeah, anything else to really say about May then? I can't really think about much to say.
Yeah,
Like,
not much else. I mean, you just got to be very cautious. Really controller with your
yeah,
anti-airs, air-to-airs. Do your job controlling space, and you'll do okay
yeah,
in this
yeah.
match.
I'd always say like you could like Faust can anti-air her, which is like better than most of the cast in the game. Like that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Well, I guess the other thing too is he can do like any of like the up dolphin on block, especially IB. He can actually get like actual like punishes off that
Oh yeah, yeah,
that
that's
maybe
actually
other
really relevant.
characters
Yeah,
can't
yeah. He
do
can
as
punish
well.
dolphins.
So
He can punish block dolphins, which is actually pretty rare for a lot of characters.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So yeah, he definitely has that going for him.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's me.
Okay, cool.
Next
We
one.
move on.
Oh, Millia.
Yeah,
So
go.
believe it or not, contrary to what some people in the Discord think, Faust actually does have a couple bad matchups.
Oh, let me see. Like, give Millia one up. Millia,
So
what is
yeah,
Millia? What is Millia? Let me see this one.
Millia. Yeah. So I put Millia. Um, I almost wanted to put this 3-7 because that's what it feels like when I play against good Millia players. But I put it like probably it's more like 4-6. Now keep in mind too, at least with the way the format this chart is with the numerics, you can argue these numbers are like plus or minus 0.5 or so.
Right.
So
Um.
like it's either like it's even, or maybe you can maybe argue one way or the other that it's favorable, or it's like how advantageous or disadvantageous it is. So Millia, so yeah, she's the Oki Queen with her vortex, right? With the disc and
Yeah.
knocks you
It
down,
all works
puts
on
up the
you, right?
disc.
You have no tricky ways to get out of the disc, right? Really.
Yeah, so if she does like true meaty setups on you, like her
Mhm.
actual proper ones, then yeah, you do have to respect that there's no real crawling shenanigans you can do. I
Mhm.
think like the big thing, like that's one thing.
Mhm.
Like there are other characters like that, and they're not as big of a deal. But the big thing with Millia is
Mhm.
she is super fast.
Yeah.
Like she has like the roll. She is very fast. Like a lot of like her run will like it will whiff over some of Faust normals like 5P and far slash. So like, especially far slash that whiffs is like, oh, you're gonna get comboed, put in the corner, and then you all of a sudden have to start blocking a lot.
Right.
Yeah. So like yeah, like so that's like the big scary thing. So you have to be like super cautious against her, and especially I
Right.
guess like and on rollback too, it's actually harder depending on like if you're playing like a 200 pain Millia, this is even harder because of the rollback. So
Right.
oh, but
I don't
it's still
even.
it's still doable though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What
mean
are the good
there's
things you have
like
here?
yeah. So the pin is like you definitely have to like. I think this is the case for everybody. Everybody has to kind of know like this matchup, like knowing when she has the pin and when she doesn't.
Right.
And then like if she does, like then
Totally.
you should like guard the pin away from her at all costs, or get like
Yeah.
away so that she can't ever get it again. Because then she's a lot more manageable, right? Air to air, like if you're playing her air to air, she will generally win because her jump P and jump K will generally beat out a lot of your
Oh,
stuff.
really? That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's
then
what I
even
was,
like
yeah.
on the ground, yeah, like on the ground too, right? Like she can get in, but if you try like even a lot of times I might try like jump 2K or other stuff, but her 6P lasts forever, so she has like the easiest time anti-air, and she gets a full combo off that.
Oh, yeah, I
So
can see
you
the, yeah. Holy
so
shit, I
you, so
forgot
you
about
got to
this.
be like so careful like when you're doing that. So
Right.
like I say like on the ground. So like if you're doing stuff for zoning, like you want to do more like jump H or even like 2P, 2S and 2D are particular. 2S in particular is actually quite good in neutral in this matchup, unlike a lot of other ones.
Yeah, she is like
Because
flinging her body at you, so it's like actually pretty beneficial.
yeah, so yeah, and like I said too with Oki, you basically have to respect all of her actual proper setups. If she does like mid screen, she tries like cheeky stuff like left right that's not real stuff, then you can like crawl under it or like mash 2P
Right.
to like kind of go under it. So
Right.
I guess one thing I guess I can say is like she is like made of paper, so you get like a 6H pogo combo, she'll do a lot of damage. Now, pogo loops, her soul and order soul, the Faust pogo loops do not work on her. So
At
you
all.
have to do like another variation of like 6H pogo run up, and then 2S 5K jump K jump K jump S jump H. You got to do like a combo like that, which is fine. It does a lot of damage on her. Meterless combos are good, especially like the jump and stall ones are especially good on her as well. Especially if you do catch her with like a J2K anti-air on counter hit, you get like easy damage that way,
Yeah,
or like as a burst punish. Um, yeah, I think that's basically like the big part. Like you got to like force her to like the really kind of be careful. Like they will do it, and you know like roll stuff like like it's kind of a gimmick like if they're doing it in a block string because you can like kind of like abare like 2S through that and get a
yeah,
counter
yeah.
hit.
But neutral seems like it's really hard, actually, right? I think two
In
H will probably
neutral,
hit it, right?
yeah. So like this is like kind of like the theme like with Faust is on fast character like he can't really do it. Like like spoiler, Chipp is not a good matchup in this game either, but I'll get to it. But there's different reasons why that's a bad matchup for Faust.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean like yeah,
Yeah.
and of course, like her Oki is like, of course, difficult to deal with. It's difficult for everybody to deal with, but especially on Faust because Millia gets like super big combos on her
Right.
too, because she gets like full dust loops in the corner. Like Blitz has a bunch of videos that he's posted, and and done on me in matches too. And it's like, oh my god, this character actually does damage on her combos, and
I should get Blitz to do
complain
Millia.
about
I should 100% get Blitz to do Millia. I'm just saying that now. I'm gonna get Blitz to do Millia. That'll be fine.
absolutely, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, yeah. I feel like Millia actually kind of dismantles these kind of characters, right? Which are like poke heavy, right? Because like if you're
Yeah.
poking, you're not killing her, right? You have to be killing her to make Millia scared. But if you're like not really killing her, she will take her turn and then just run a train on you, right? So that's
Yeah,
kind of like
absolutely.
that's like the trend, right? Like I think Faust is probably in that camp where like he just can't kill her fast enough, right? Or like it's
Yeah,
not easy to control it. Yeah, like you just can't control it enough before she gets going.
it's really hard to even get like if you do get a good hit on her, then yeah, you can do like a good amount of damage. So you almost want to prioritize just doing any amount of damage
Yeah,
you can,
right. You
especially
wanna just
from
try to
something
kill
like
her, yeah.
6H or J2K. So
All right, I will switch over to Eddie now though. Let's go to the other assassin.
yeah, other assassin.
I'm curious how
So,
this one is. I think this was classically Faust's favorite. I want to say it's classically Faust's favorite, but I could be wrong. What do you have as
I
last?
would, I guess it depends. Like
Let me
I
see
think
here.
Faust does like overall like throughout at least the XX games, he's done okay in it. Not
Oh, okay,
great. I think
evenish.
yeah,
what did
like
Sonny put this last? Let
he
me
can
see.
do all right. Like especially like I think Accent Core and like Reload like or XX where he was like the best character in the game that a lot of people considered him. Um, like it was a struggle for Faust because just for the Oki and just the various ways he kill you like in Reload, he was more about cranking your guard gauge and then just killing you in like from
Dumb
an
string.
unblockable
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
setup. In Accent Core, you get hit and then you get hit into a bunch of unblockables, and then you get dizzied, and then you die. But he's toned down a lot in this game.
Yeah, that's what I was
So
wondering. That's why he still hold the momentum on it.
yeah, so like like Eddie's like his pressure game's still really good, like the Mawaru stuff.
But yeah.
But it's not too bad for Faust. Like he has like at least like for the Mawaru stuff, like one of the nice things he does have is he has like things like Force Break Chop available. That's actually pretty good for escaping that because it puts him way up in the air and
Okay.
can smack him out of it. It's
Right.
25% meter, but that is an option.
Right. At least you can have
Yeah.
an option to get out of water, like out of something, right?
Yeah, so that's like another option other than like, slash backing the second hit or backdash ID backdashing or stuff
Right.
like that, right? And also for dealing with the shadow and neutral, it's not bad. Like 2K, 2P can do it well. 2H at a distance is really good. Bomb bag is also really good in
Oh
the
yeah, it seems
air.
like that's be really annoying for. How does he move past this? He has like micro. Well, I just this looks like so
Yeah,
annoying.
so like in neutral, this is like where Eddie kind of struggles just because, hey, if he
How
doesn't have the shadow out, then it's kind of hard because you
can I
have like
reflect
jump
it?
H to do it, 5K.
Can't even reflect
It's
it. Holy
and then
shit.
for and I guess also as well, like for the shadow, force break pogo is really good in this matchup too.
Oh
It's
shit.
not like as godly as it was in AC because in AC, if you look at the hitbox, it was basically an air to ground dragon punch. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but in this game, it actually does have a hurt box on it, but it's still really good. And I think like the extra buffs that Plus R Faust got in exchange, like
Mm-hmm.
for more like combo opportunities and for better confirms, especially like if you cross up on the other side and do a back pogo slam, because in AC, if you did a backwards pogo slam, they could actually tech out like midway through in the air.
Oh really?
But yeah, but in Plus R they doubled the untechable time so that you can they'll actually fall to the ground and you can get like a
Oh, that's
flower into
cool.
going my way. So
You can play from backwards poke. That's pretty funny. That's pretty nice.
yeah, so that was like kind of like one of the various buffs that Faust got, other than like the extra items and like the buffs to his items, like stuff with the coin or mini Robokai causing on OTG to get combo extensions, etc. So
Right. I'm trying to like see like what Eddie would have in this match. Like the fact that bomb back is just really annoying to deal with actually seems really annoying.
oh
Like
yeah, like even then, like FTC float is just annoying, so they have to go for more like air throw kind of
right.
stuff to get him to stop doing that.
Is drill
But
something good to be mindful of or not? Not
yes,
really.
drill is very mindful in this matchup, like
Uh,
in neutral. So you can't just do whatever. You're not like because you have to be mindful of the S and H drill ranges and also the force break drill ranges. So like if you're
right.
there, and you're throwing, he can just drill punish you, and then he can get easy Oki on you. Also as well, like because those drills are so active, if you try like he can maybe like just from as Faust is starting up with scalpel pull, Eddie can just like put up a drill, and if as the scalpel's coming out, he can get punished for that.
Oh really?
So that's the other thing too. Like so you can't be like too mindless like in some of your block strings. Like 2H scalpel is a good block string or even far slash, but if in between like Eddie puts up a drill, like I think scalpel or the drill would actually punish them for that.
Let's try to find it.
Yeah. So and otherwise, I guess like yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
because otherwise in this matchup, I suggest playing more offensive just because Eddie's defense is so bad, especially with the
Right.
shadow. It's like one of the worst. The only reversal he has is Amorphous, and it's slow. It is invincible on start, but it's slow. It's a lot of recovery. Um, yeah, and I guess like for a lot of the other stuff too, like for some of like the shadow stuff, and also like for escaping Mawaru or like the Weiss version of those shadows, especially in the corner. FD jumping and fuzzy jumping is pretty crucial in this matchup.
Right. Okay. Damn, poor Eddie. I'm sorry. It doesn't feel. I don't know because I feel like once if Eddie does get in, it does look pretty rough, right? Regardless, right? Well, you have more answers than most, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
have a lot of experiences from playing Sunny a lot, and like
Yeah.
if you don't know what you're doing, if you still don't know the matchup, you're just gonna get slaughtered by Eddie still in this game, as with a lot of
Right.
other characters. But especially Eddie, where at times I feel like he can still make him feel like AC Eddie in some ways,
Right. I guess I should
So
bring up Fly. Is Fly anything that's really hard for Faust to deal with?
no, he can just swat him down with a jump H, either
Okay.
super jump or just like FDC jump
You just go in
H.
the air and be like, what are you doing? What are you stop me? Okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they have to be really much more careful in this matchup with flying. I mean, outside of like unless they're doing like certain like unblockable setups, like say
Right.
like with
Okay.
the jump K a Weiss drill in the corner, right?
Okay.
So
I gotcha. All right. Well, I'm gonna say that's pretty interesting. Then just you
yeah,
have
so I put
any?
it as even. Like so I guess like some Eddies would probably consider it's probably unfavored a little bit.
Right.
I don't
Right.
think it's that bad, but I think like once Eddie gets going, it can be quite hard for Faust to deal with. But I think it's they have to work to get there, and it's
Right.
not as easy as like in AC, I guess, because Eddie
Gotcha.
Eddie has to work in this game, unlike in AC, comparatively speaking.
Okay. Okay. Want to move on to? I think it's Potemkin. You want to move on, or do you have anything more to
Yeah.
say? Okay, Potemkin it
No,
is. Let's
nothing
go.
else to say. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, go for it. Potemkin. I'm pretty sure this match
Potemkin.
is horrible
So
for Potemkin. I'm gonna assume it's
it
Potemkin's
has
horrible.
always been horrible, like historically speaking. It's still pretty good for Faust in plus R,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, and yeah, it's still pretty good in. Yeah, it's like I think I had it six. I had it six originally. I thought about it a little more. Maybe it's 6.5, especially thinking about all the stuff that Faust can do. In AC, I think it's probably even just because well, it was Potemkin in AC. If you
Yeah, the
use
character
like
just went if
there.
he like you breathed on you, right? He just died. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you get a slider. He gets like a pickup combo into a lot of meter, and then you have to deal with his Oki options, etc., etc. But not quite as bad.
Okay, so
So
what makes the
like,
matchup hard for this character?
so it's basically like so I guess like a big thing like with the items,
Mm-hmm.
Faust can make any character that doesn't have like so like I said like we were talking about Millia, right? Like we're that's hard for Faust because she can deal with the item easily, get past him and just zoom
Yeah, yeah,
past him. And so on that note, really like what makes for slow mobility characters or just weird mobility or limited mobility is items can make it makes it easier for Faust to throw out items, and those items cause these characters a lot of pain,
yeah.
like to have to
Right.
get around, like just in general. And for Potemkin being the slowest character in the game, um,
Right. Like every time he moves forward, you're throwing an item, right? And so what's he got?
yeah,
Yeah.
like he has to deal with it. Now he has stuff like flick. He can do that. You can kind of bait stuff, like like if he tries that, with your normals or a bomb bag.
Right.
One thing to note too is I guess on round start, like generally speaking on a round start, on most characters Faust has the advantage. Like 2P 2H is generally a good round into item toss is a good round start because usually not a lot of characters can do stuff about it unless they go with specific options. In this matchup, I like doing like 5P far slash
Mm-hmm.
into whatever because that can
That'll
like
stop
especially
Hammerfall,
if you
right?
if you slightly delay the far slash. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if you slightly delay, you can like see what they try to do. Like if they try to mega fist over, you can block and then just punish. But generally speaking, like a lot of like Potemkin's normals are just they don't either reach far enough or they're not fast enough. So you can at least like, get like 5P far slash into item toss. That's like a big thing I do. There's like a couple things Potemkin can do, but then Faust can react. And so I think like round start's mostly favored. It's favored from round start to begin with for Faust
Right.
in this matchup. So yeah, and then like I said, stuff with the item. And I guess like so a lot of stuff like Potemkin might do to get in, like
Yeah.
slide head.
Right.
Faust can go over that with a lot of things like 5D, jump 2K, or pogo.
5D. Yeah, jump to get. Yeah.
Yeah,
This
5D can do that. I mean, it's kind of just a cheeky, silly option, but I think like
is the
J2K is better because especially if he tries that while close, you can like at
you
least
flip
punish
over
him a
it.
bit.
Yeah.
But Pogo is also better because that actually is airborne frame one.
Wait, is it really like frame one pogo? Like we just do pogo. Like it's actually just
Yep,
frame one.
it is frame one
What?
airborne. Yep. So it's kind of like a ghetto reversal you can use as Faust as well if you really want, but
Try to
I don't
time
know.
the.
But that's actually better. Like, that's a good way of like going over like like for Hammerfall as well. I mean, I guess Potemkin can FRC or not Hammerfall. Sorry, slide head. He has to
Right.
FRC slide head. I guess if he
Okay.
maybe like I'm
Right.
not sure if he'd actually. Yeah, I'm not sure. He probably be able to block it, but I'm not actually sure. Faust also has like, so like for Faust Oki, I've talked about things like 2K, right? That's a big one.
Yeah.
5P is actually generally safer because it's a fast normal 5 frame, and especially with Potemkin, there's a lot, pretty much everything Potemkin does that can be covered. Like I think this was the thing like Krakatoa made like a video on Twitter about with that. He did it for Exert originally. There was like one thing there, but that's an Exert specific thing with YRC like for that, but generally, Faust can just do like 5P double tap 2S, and that can
Five.
cover everything, including backdash for punishing. So
Uh.
generally,
Yeah.
and even like for like stuff like Judge Gauntlet, like that does have armor, but it's only starting frame 2. So if you do a proper 5P meaty, that will stuff it. Gigantor, like that has like invulnerability, but Faust can recover in time and just block. So it's not, you're at neutral at least, which maybe in that situation is not generally great against Potemkin.
Right.
Though you can actually counter super it with your Kancho one instead, because that will go under it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just,
Yeah. And then of course, like bomb bag is kind of hard for Potemkin to deal with as well, especially for Hammerfall. Like Hammerfall as well, like for approaching, like if you did like end up block string in like 2H, for example, and Potemkin tries to Hammerfall, you can just like throw out 5P and then
oh,
like just
yeah.
Gatling. Or if he hammer falls into your 2H, you can reverse Gatling to 5P and then you get like a full combo off
Right.
that. So yeah,
He
like
actually just like walk forward. He has to like walk you down
yeah,
somehow, yeah? Is Mega Fist an
yeah.
issue in this matchup at all then? I don't know. That's the only move we can
I
talk
don't think
about.
it is. Like there's
Okay.
like some stuff maybe like with there's like the Hammer Fist FRC that can be a little bit cheeky if he tries like going for a grab or something.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, up close, like, you got to respect Potemkin's Oki, generally speaking. You can, like, do stuff like 5D or Force Break Chop as well through stuff. Some stuff you can actually crawl under as well if you predict you'll try to, like, backdash it.
Right.
Um,
All right.
yeah, and, like, and I guess, like, the metered options, like, I guess, like, when he has 50%, like, generally it's okay to be in the air until he gets 50%, because if you're just in the air too long, you're like throwing bomb bags or just FTC flip,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
just like do Heavenly Pot Buster. So you got to be mindful of that and just be aware of like kind of the spacing of what his trajectory is.
Gotcha. Can you
Yeah.
lose the poke war, like if he does heart slashes and stuff? Like, is the poke war like an issue for? Like, what do you do? Like, you just...
This is like, yeah, like I know like this is like a thing that can like beat like a couple on media, like if he tries like doing like Force Break Chop or 5D, because I think that like because Potemkin like 5H is like such an active normal, right?
Right. All right. It's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, like I have an exhibition coming up too in like about I think the 3rd of June, around like let's see, 6 p.m. Pacific time as well. So I will be like probably studying for that. I might do like some streaming, more so. So
Right.
yeah.
The matchup.
So in that case, I might go into more detail if I do stream it, but otherwise there will be an exhibition.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
How about that one then? All right, let's go on to the next one then, which is Chipper.
Chipp.
Chipper. I can see this being. I imagine it's similar to how Millia does it to you too, right? Then I'm guessing.
Yeah, it is
Okay.
another bad matchup for Faust. It's just because he has like a lot of mobility, very fast, he'll triple jump. Makes the life hell trying to zone because if you're just trying to zone, he can just teleport around you and then do stuff with like jump D, and that's like really awful to deal with,
Right.
right? Because you can't really. It's very hard to deal with. You probably have to do things like preemptive like 2K out of it, or you have to try to air throw or jump H to like OS to
Yeah.
catch it.
Whenever playing preemptively, like all the time preemptively, your life sounds pretty rough as like a zoner. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, as a poker
Yeah, pretty
zoner,
much.
yeah, it's like you're like, oh, I have to commit. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and like when you combine that with how Faust normals are, like there's a lot of like recovery on them.
Yeah, you have to always be able to like on point with your buttons, right? Like if you whiff anything, he's gonna close that distance immediately.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So like at least like the Oki is a lot like yeah. So like really like whereas Millia, when you lose like in neutral, you get like into the Oki vortex. It's like more like kind of like you get put in kind of. It's not as bad like for Chipp, like what is he has like his own J2K FDC mix up Oki, but it's not as bad like he has more like strike throw stuff, like just like kind of like fast stuff and dealing with the teleports more so in neutral that's kind of like where it's trickier in neutral versus Chipp, I'd say, just for dealing with his speed.
Right. Yeah. Like I was gonna say like something about Millia and like these characters that are fast, they can just like lurk you, right? Like they don't have to commit to anything. They just have to wait for you to press the button and they just start going in and you're like, oh no. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So you got to be kind of almost like less committal yourself, but then you lose like a lot of your advantage with your range.
Yeah.
So jump H is like FTC jump H is like really good in this matchup.
Yeah, that's why Baiken
can
gets
help
eat
a
most of
lot.
it. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it covers a lot of space pretty fast, and it's like not that committal compared to a lot of his other options at least. I mean, Chipp is like he dies pretty easily at least. A little bit weird to combo though in the air. Like his dust combo kind of whiffs the normal one, so you got to do like a weird variation on it.
That's weird.
Like yeah. So you got to do either like you either have to slightly delay like the first jump H, or you got to do like 2 jump Ds instead after the homing dust. So pretty weird that way. he does die pretty, like, you know, the pogo loops do work on him, like, combo wise. Like, you know, like, at least if you manage to get, like, a big hit on him, you can do a lot of damage to him.
Yeah. I could see it as being really, really annoying. Like I can see like the speedy characters being really, like I said earlier, like when you have to commit to poking early, it sounds like such a bad time because these kind of characters. Jesus.
Yeah, because they can, like, get around, like, all your space control
Yeah.
items, you know, like the minis, even, like, meteors, like, you know, they have no problem, like, getting to the other side or like,
Yeah.
throwing you or, like,
They could do so many
yeah.
things, yeah. Like a lot of your things seem to be almost irrelevant. They're not. I mean, they're relevant, but they don't have to think as much about them. You know what I mean? Like as other characters would, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. What buttons do you like against this matchup then? Just hard jump, hard slash. Anything else that's good?
5P is good. Like, I don't know, like Jump H is, like, I think pretty good.
Okay.
2K is, like, pretty good, like, preemptive as well, especially for dealing with teleports. You want to do a lot of Jump H and, like, air throwing, I think, to try to catch him.
Yeah,
So,
you gotta like. I don't know how you're gonna catch him.
yeah, you gotta hope,
I
like,
don't know
you
if you can catch him, right? You're not gonna catch him with fouls. That's like the thing. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta
yeah.
hope, like, you know, he lands into you,
Right.
like there's a clip on T-Spin's, like he did the 25 days of ACPR on Faust. I was Joe Biden versus Reseda, and
Uh-huh.
then, like, I think, like the Joe did, like, I kind of like the force, like I think like a some, like, force break, like the he has, like, one of those force break that moves him, like, forward upwards, like, more so, like, I think the force break alpha played, and
Yeah.
but then the Reseda caught him with that and just air through him, and that was, like, pretty good.
That thing right there. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that one, and then, yeah, exactly, and then so it's like, and then, yeah, Reseda just air through him, and I thought that was a pretty good clip.
Okay. All right. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
so
I
yeah, so
Chipp's cool.
this is like a tough matchup in Plus R, especially with all the buffs and how crazy Chip is in this game in
Yeah.
general.
Okay. Then we move on to the next one if you're down, which is gonna be
Yeah,
well, we're not doing Faust yet, right? Let's go straight to Bike. Ooh, Baiken! I'm curious about this one actually. How does
yeah,
this one work
Baiken's an
out?
interesting one.
I think your reverse
Yeah,
scattings help a lot, right? I think they do.
yeah.
That's what
So
I
I
think.
mean, oh, sorry.
Oh no, yeah, go for it. I was gonna say, like, I think the reverse
Yeah, so
scattings help,
guard
yeah,
cancel
yeah.
queen.
Go for it.
So she can blow you up for, you know, if you were going to, like, you're really, like, just pure, like, a lot of pressure, like fast pressure, or like a big buttons to do it. She can blow you up for that. Like her Sakura and Orin, her cancels are particularly good. Orin's particularly good against any air approaches Faust does against her on the ground. Because, like,
Oh, that's fun.
especially, you know, like, don't if she blocks, like, a jump K, she can just do, like, an Orin guard cancel to just blow you up for that. So
Right.
um yeah. So, like, a lot of the ways I approach this matchup is it's definitely more of a zoning game overall. Like, you go for more items, jump H stuff, like the keep her out. Then at least she has to try stuff like, you know, more like Kyrie Tatami or like her command run to get in a bit more so. Like, but 2H is good. Like, yeah, like 2H is good in neutral. Don't do it in, like, a block string though, because then she'll just guard cancel and blow you up
Right.
for that. Scalpel pull as well, like, is okay, but you need the condition because she can just do Sakura and, like, get a big combo, especially if she
Is it
RCs or
Sakura level?
FRCs it.
Oh,
Yeah,
sick.
that's, like, you know, the back sword stab one. I think that's the P guard cancel.
Uh,
Oron works too though. Or no,
slash. There it is.
that's
That's
no,
it.
like,
Sakura
there's
slash. Yeah.
Oron or
That's
wait, what
Sakura.
is the
Sakura's the sword stab. Oran's the flippy move.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, what's the one, like, in the air where she does, like, the other
Is that
big thing, like,
is that Orin?
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure it's
so that
Orin.
one is Sakura. So that's, like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
So you need
Orin.
to, like, condition a bit with that, or, you know, or try to catch her. So the other thing too is, at least one other thing to note is she cannot guard cancel in the air. Thank God. So especially air to air, it's not bad. The deal with her there. Um, yeah, if she gets in, like, jump H as well is kind of like, you know, that's a hard and normal for a lot of characters to deal with, but 2K is actually quite good for dealing with that
I'm
too.
curious. Really? I
Yeah,
see.
6P is not bad as well, if you do it, like, early enough.
I see. Yeah.
But 2K is just, like, really good for stuffing that if they try abusing it. So,
Interesting.
but the nice thing is, like, you know, she's pretty easy to combo. All your big damage options work on her, and she's a lightweight, so, you know, stuff like 2D Pogo works on her as well. if you catch her, say like you do a drill cancel, jump K, jump 2K, 5P 2D, you can go into pogo, to whatever for more damage. So yeah, like in terms like I don't know, I feel it's kind of evenish in this matchup. Some Baiken players think it's more advantageous just because hey, once she gets the hit, you know, she can do stuff to get her guard cancels going and just she gets the hit, she can blow you up pretty
Right.
majorly in this game for how much damage she does.
Yeah,
But you can blow her up pretty easily too.
yeah,
You
she's
know.
Baiken, right? She's that's that damage modifier. That's pretty suspect, right? I
Yeah,
see.
exactly.
Yeah, this one sounds weird to me, right? 'Cause so I just think like, oh, you could counter stuff, but like you could do shit like this, right? So I don't even.
Yeah, you can do
Yeah.
like a lot of FTCing in this game in this matchup is I think pretty essential. If otherwise yeah, if you just kind of play mindlessly and you try to just
Yeah,
rush
you
down and
you
press
have to
you're
like
just
play reactively, right? You have to play reactively.
yeah,
Yeah.
you got to be mindful of try to bait out guard cancels too, as needed, with some of your lower level moves. Like the way I kind of treat the philosophy with this character is almost like a vampire savior character, because there's every character has meterless guard cancels in that game.
Mhm.
Some are less good than others, but some you do have to watch out for. So in that game you do stuff crouching light punch, light kick, and other stuff to try to bait them out,
Mhm.
and then that kind of stuff. So that's kind of
Right.
how I approach Viking in this game as well.
Okay. All right. Cool. You want to move on to the next one then? Shall we just keep chugging along?
Yep. Yep. Keep
Ooh,
chugging along.
Jam. Okay, this one sounds pretty weird. So Jam. Okay, tell me about Jam. Let me know about this one.
So Jam, you have a character with a lot of big ranges and items for space control versus somebody with the shortest effective range in the game, other than Order Soul. So, so I think I said this start big character, big advantage with range and items for space control versus somebody with the shortest effective range in the game, other than
Right.
Order Soul. So but you have a lot of ways to she gets in with her dash into puffball and stuff. 2K, 2B are pretty good for stopping that. 2H is just for overall good. Jump H as well. He can crawl under a lot of especially anything like Ryujin, that and Ryujin especially he can just crouch under and get some punishes. Um, it's kind
What?
of hard for Jam because she has to work in. Faust can also do some pretty cheeky stuff. He can actually 5D through the puffball
Oh yeah,
as
that's
well and
not.
get a combo. So it's pretty funny like that when
Oh,
it
I don't
when
really
it when it
kind
does
of
happen.
see it. All right, so I get this.
Yeah.
Yeah. There
Yeah. So
there you go. Yeah.
yeah. Now, of course, she can just do things I think maybe the kick follow up, the low one is that would actually beat that. So
Uh,
that's just a thing to be mindful of in that case. I guess it
right.
depends on the timing, right? If it hits
Yeah.
after the involved
Yeah,
frames.
because I mean, she can also just also go for a full dash. But I mean,
Yeah,
like,
or
yeah,
just just full dash and then just throw you
you're
instead.
right.
So
It's all conditioning at
yeah,
that point, right? She's trying to condition to put. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, and
Interesting.
so she can try to zone stuff, try to get cards. Faust can kind of do scalpel pull or the doors or force break door to punish
Yeah.
that. And that's the
Is
thing
it
with
is it
force
easy to
break
chase her
door.
down though if she just runs away and charges?
Yeah,
Is it
pretty much.
okay? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because you could just even run up scalpel pull if she's doing that, or force
Right.
break door, to do that. Especially if you want to close out around her, desperate to get if they do force break cards, you can do force break door to say no, don't stop. To get them to stop doing that. They might get the card, but at least you punish them a bit for that, right? So
Right. Okay. I can't really see because I was thinking jump S might be kind of a thing, but then they're not really. You're just too far. I don't know. I don't know.
it's okay. It's okay in this one. I think overall generally where you think jump S would be good, jump H is just usually better.
Right.
I mean, jump H can even hit her while she's standing too. I think when it's
Right.
falling. Jump S is not bad
Okay.
though. Yeah, big. And it's another kind of lightweight, kind of character that takes a lot of damage. A lot of your big damage combos work on her pretty well.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's another one that's definitely more of a challenge where you do have to respect, especially her 6H Oki. You do still have to respect that.
Yeah. Yeah. Her win conditions basically. I got in. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And then if she has like cards, and then she can blow you up, especially if she does like a carded Ryujin counter hit ball. Yeah,
Right.
your life bar is really going to go down a lot from that. So
Okay, cool. Anything else you guys for
yep,
jamming? I'll just keep going. I'm gonna chug along then. Jam.
yeah, I think that's that's mainly it. Yeah.
It's, like, so football's not really. It's still an issue because I realized you couldn't actually crouch it. Or you can't go underneath it, right? Or can you go underneath it? You can't crawl it, right?
I I don't know actually. I'd have to look at T-spins.
I can do it right now. Hold on. Wait, does it matter if I do back crawl or forward crawl? Or is forward crawl better than the other? Or
I would say forward crawl will go below more things than just like the crouch.
Can you 2P8? I'm curious. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, like, what? I mean, like, I could just see Jam trying to bet on puffballs, but I don't know how annoying they are. So,
Yeah.
all right. Go back to that one another time then. All right, next one. Let's go. Johnny. I think it's Johnny, right?
Yeah, it is Johnny. So
This one sounds like a bad one too. I think my friend.
yeah, so this
has,
is yeah. Some of them I've seen like it's quite bad for Johnny. Like it's like 7. I don't think it's quite that bad, but I think like it's kind of similar to Kai, where a lot of the ranges that Johnny can play at, Faust can play at them as well. And I don't know, like in that case, like I don't know, there's not really as much of an advantage that Johnny has in this. But but at least does have the damage where, probably like Faust specific combos as well that make him quite easy to combo and do big damage. In this matchup though, like yeah, items for space control, like a lot of Faust normals are quite good, especially on the ground to deal with his limited mobility. His items are actually quite good as well. Johnny has to commit to more like air options, like like double jump, like jumping over stuff or trying to air dash over. But you can put a stop to that with things like jump H. One thing for Faust in this matchup in Plus R compared to other games is that his up coin causes a lot of issues for Faust, where
really
some Oki where he
God.
would normally have to, you could like kind of score him out with like FD jump. No, like if you try like say fuzzy jumping out of like Oki, some of his Oki, but he does like an up coin. Well, no, you have to actually respect that in this game. And I think like there was like that recent like the Japanese exhibition.
Oh yeah, we saw that.
With
Yeah,
Suzume versus Keisha.
Oh my god,
and,
yeah, I was talking about that actually when I saw that matchup.
Yeah, so Suzume, amazing Johnny. Like I finally got to see them.
Yeah,
I actually tried to play them, and I tried to play them in quick match. Our connection just didn't agree. Like we tried it a few times and it just didn't work, unfortunately. So I didn't get to play him myself. But yeah, definitely the way he uses like especially Johnny's movement, with his wave dash and to get in on him, and like just the way that he confirms stuff. Just absolutely amazing Johnny player.
Yeah.
Probably, easily the best one probably right now.
Do you think that would skew your opinion of how this matchup is then, or not really?
I mean, some people might think that, right? And I think, like, I don't know how much Keisha has played, like, Plus R a lot, honestly.
Right.
Yeah. I think, like, yeah. So I don't know if it's just, like, kind of, like, there was just, like, a lot of stuff, like, Johnny just, like, kind of saw, like, maybe, I don't know. I think, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe Keisha seemed, maybe, I don't know how much Plus R he's played, but maybe he could have. It's hard to say, right?
Right. Yeah.
Just because Keisha is also an amazing player. He was the one who won like the 1 year that Plus R was at Arc Revo in 2013, I think he won.
Oh, that was a long time ago. Yeah. I see.
That was a long time ago. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, there was like just a lot of stuff where Johnny just like kind of blocked it out there. That you'd think like, oh, well, this is like Johnny blows it up, but I think it was just. I think overall, in theory, though, like Faust could just outplay Johnny at all the ranges that Johnny wants to play in. Like even like some stuff like his back aside Mr. Unblockables, you can disrespect those with like Force Break Chop, 5D, or even just FD jump out, fuzzy jump out of them. You can squirm out and like make it really hard. And like the items just give Johnny a lot of trouble too. Again, just because of his limited movement. Like he has like ways around it, but like stuff in the air he has to commit to, like I said. And I guess another thing too is like some of the like Johnny's reversals, like 2K is very safe, kind of similar like dealing with Kai's DP, but 2K will just it will Johnny's like the sword super say my name one that will just whiff if you do like 2K Oki, and then you get like you get a free punish off that. So Yeah, it's a fun matchup though. I really like playing this one.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like enjoy fighting Johnny in all honesty because he's pretty neat like to play. He's an ebb and flow kind of character, so I think like it's pretty fun to fight against just in general.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't really know because I don't have like I don't know this matchup at all. I just feel like all I have was that one the Suzume matchup, and I was like, damn, just ran at him with hard slashes, just chased him down with hard slashes, and like Faust was like, oh no, oh no. But I feel like he have answers to this
and
move,
then
right?
Kisha wasn't really able to get anything going on him just because Johnny blocked a lot of the pressure. Like he tried like the instant overhead like drill camps at JK, but he blocked all of that.
Right.
Maybe he needed like a couple of 6Hs or something. I don't know. Like, just to throw him off and like to get something out of that. But
I just felt like
it just felt like Kisha wasn't really able to get much going off that.
Yeah. Like he just got like paced out by Suzume and then just steamrolled over and over. Yeah. So I mean, we look like the ranges, right? Like I don't like. What's your answer to like Johnny just doing hard slashes, right? Because I don't know if this move hits you from doing like jump 2Ks and stuff. Does it? Do you know?
I think you could jump 2K over it if you're high enough.
Right.
Like, yeah, and like one of the things too, like some Johnnies might like they like 2H as a bar maybe, but you can just like J2K over that.
Right.
And like and really punish them. So
yeah, this is counter.
That's the thing to keep in mind too. Like if they especially if they seem like 2H happy, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like kind of characters that like to play at a lot of the similar ranges, but I think Faust generally has the advantage here.
Right. Okay. Do you want to move on then from Johnny then? We can go on. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
What's next?
Axel. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
now
this is like another.
too.
Yeah. So to be honest, this is a matchup. This is probably one of the ones I don't have as much experience against. It's mainly against like digital watches is probably like for like a high level Axel, and she beats me up pretty well with that character usually. So I think overall probably in theory this is like a pretty even matchup as well. There's like stuff like some of Axel's normals feel like they can like outrange yours, especially because his like Axel's normals like are generally more like they're faster and like they can put them out more. And especially in the air.
You can't even item toss
even up close,
right? Yeah, that's like not even an option, right? To go for an item toss.
Yeah. Yeah. So like so you got to do stuff like if you do stuff you do like 2H. Bar slash is kind of it's an okay one to use like option to use as well, but still like you almost want to kind of be like at either the farthest ranges or closer to Axel.
Right. Like because like he has a dead zone right where he has to like move forward right, and that's when you go for items or something right. Yeah.
Yeah, because at least like with items and scalpel pull, you could kind of like keep them away, but otherwise, kind of in that mid range, I think Axel tends to have more of an advantage over Faust. Like unless like you kind of like you try to wait for one of Axel's like normals the whiff and try to counter poke those instead.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn. This looks like a really.
But yeah.
Can you even move? Actually, when I think of like. How do you?
Yeah, for there you almost have to be like more patient and reactive in this matchup. So.
Damn.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Or you have to do stuff like you try to bait them into hitting a button and like doing that. Like when I watched like RF play this matchup, like when he was playing plus R, it was definitely a lot more scalpel pull or resets into that, and like really trying to be much more patient with items and so on at a longer range.
Yeah,
or like up close, right? Because up close, you can also like do stuff like Metagiri or throw mix-ups on like strike throw stuff on Axel, because that's the thing Axel kind of struggles with.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's not really good when you're up close. I think Faust has a decent enough like bag of tricks to, like be annoying on Axel, right?
Yeah, and like Faust does okay in the air. Like you got to be mindful, of course, of Axel's really good anti-airs.
Is this even viable, by the way? Is this viable as a way of getting in on Axel? Will this work?
What's a viable way?
Half circle back as. Oh, is the stream not open for you anymore? Let me see.
Like the door teleport. It can be okay. It's a kind of like just like a cheeky way of. Again, like the teleports, you want like items to cover you, right? So,
right. Getting over here sounds like a pain. Yeah, that's actually too long. This is way too slow. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're gonna do that, like I always tell other Faust players, like if you're gonna do the teleports, you're either gonna you really want extra meter, like to either RC or FRC them.
Right.
That way you'll at least be safe if you do them. Because you really don't have to commit otherwise to them. Unless, because otherwise, You're either trying to do this to be cheeky or random, or you're like, I don't know, you're bored of playing neutral, I guess, and you just want to get in or do something silly. So,
Right.
I mean, I don't usually recommend it. Like, if you're gonna do those, have meter so that you can RC or FRC them.
Okay.
But yeah, and in the air, like it's not bad, but you got to be careful, like because FTC floating is not bad, but Axel could catch you, and there's like
Let's
ways of
move.
like draining all your meter, especially because air FTC it costs a lot of meter to do.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so like that's a
Yeah.
kind of a way like Axel could kind of control space in this matchup by just draining all your meter if you're just like air blocking all day, or
Right.
especially like out of a reset
Yeah. And if it
in the
catches you
air,
on
right?
FTC, right, you could lose so much meter because of this shit right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like you got to be like kind of very cautious of that, and also like the way you air tech, you want to kind of vary that up a little bit because
Mhm.
like Axel has responses to different ways of air text it, but he doesn't have options for every possible way you can air
Yeah.
tech, right? So
Yeah, use varieties of spice you need in this one. Okay. Alright. I'm guessing, yeah. This one sounds like it sounds like you have to pay patiently, right, and get your items out. Once you get
yeah,
the good
this
items
is
out, right, it's probably a lot
yeah.
easier, right? Like, is there something you really want to get out in order to get like Axel to like back off or what?
Yeah, I don't know. Like any like the minis are good.
Hmm.
Bob is good meteor. Like he's not. Yeah, and he's not terribly fast either. So like and he's easy to combo. Very easy to combo. In fact, you do a lot of damage on him.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, like he has some stuff like 6H there. Like you could easily slash back that and get a good punish,
Hmm.
especially with kind of like the double tap technique that was found. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's like really found, maybe rediscovered. Like especially with Faust, because how you go to slash back stuff like from a crouch that may extend his slash like the hitbox for slash backing, which can make it easier.
Right.
Yeah,
I know we talked
so
about that with Amazon like a while ago. Like the slashback thing is pretty interesting. But all right.
yeah, like slash backing, I think at the highest level, it really does. It's one of these things. Like slashback is a weird mechanic, like a red parry and third strike, right?
Yeah. It has its moments for sure, and it's like something that you will. I would tell no new player to worry about it, but like as you get like seasoned into the game, it's like kind of worth investigating more and more.
Yeah, you learn to
Right.
slashback specific things,
Yeah, things
and
that happen
one
too
of the later
consistently.
matchups, yeah, some of the
Okay.
upcoming matchups, I'll talk about like where
Okay.
you would use like slashbacking for some stuff.
All right. I'm gonna
But
move.
yeah, generally it's stuff like very predictable strings or like projectiles, especially is good. So yeah,
Okay. Cool. Do you want to move on to what's his name? What's his name?
Anji.
Anji. Yeah, yeah, yeah.